Captain, incoming message.
Intruder alert on deck 8. Enter authorization code. Command functions are offline. Automatic defense procedures initiated. Diagnostic complete. Sensors are functioning normally.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Sorry we're a little late. Had some technical difficulties. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. You know, remember those days when you used to miss a whole episode of All in the Family because of technical difficulties, and some guy just kicked the plug out at CBS.
The president was talking.
Yeah,
because you only have on each and every one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the President Jimmy Carter. I'd like to say that we're currently in the middle of a gas crisis. Okay, well, anyway. So, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another review. We're reviewing Perpetual. Perpetual Infinity. What's it called? What's this episode called? Perpetual
Idiocy.
Yeah, well, anyways, we have our special guest. I'm, of course, Captain Rob. With me, as always, is Lieutenant Commander Tom Connors.
And we're already demonetized.
Oh, for God's sake. And our fembot, Mecha Random. How's it going?
Hello. I didn't do it. I didn't even swear yet.
Okay,
let's thank you so much. He gave us a $5 super chat.
Yeah, we have a special guest. Let's beam him aboard right away. So let's just beam him aboard. All right. Okay, he's being okay. Let's check him out. Give a quick scan with the tricorder. Okay, everything's there. So,
I guess I didn't need that left nipple. It's okay.
Are you sure you didn't lose it before?
Well,
you have a waiver.
Yeah.
You can head to sick bay. We can stitch on a couple more for you if you like.
You'd be like, nice. Okay.
You'd be like Scaramanga from The Man with the Golden Gun.
There you go. I'll take it.
Yeah. Everybody, you know him, you love him. He's back once again. Q Storm from the Redshirts.
Yeah, I survived another episode of Discovery. It's funny. It's hard to believe that first season I was championing this show.
Well,
now don't hold that against me.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Just before we go, I'm sorry. Just before Darth,
John Lennon did wind up with Yoko Ono, for Pete's sake. So everybody makes bad decisions once in a while.
God.
Endar, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for suffering through STD so others don't have to. Yes, you're welcome.
Well, we do what we can.
Well, yeah, this is therapy for us. This is therapy.
It is.
Yes, this is Star Trek Recovery. So welcome to the
That's good. I like that.
So who brought the coffee? And the day old jelly donut.
Hi, my name's Rob, and I watch Star Trek Discovery.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to play STD bingo. Okay, we get your cards out at home. It's time for STD bingo.
We so need a theme song for this. It's STD bingo.
To me, this is not legitimate unless they have a section that says Michael cries.
See, we could replace Spock, no Spock to be seen with Michael cries now that he's in there. We could always just replace
true.
That
we could do that. There is ones that says feelings, which you can count that too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then I think there was one where, anyway.
Well, we got pew pew for sure. We got feelings, yes.
Okay, all right. We'll
Fantasy
start with
Babble,
pew.
yes.
Okay, fantasy versus
there was
fantasy.
Lots of pew pew in this one. Michael sort of solves the problem.
Well, yeah. She sort of solved the problem. Okay, we'll give you that one. Shaky cam. There was shaky cam. Punching bag Pike. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yes, because
okay.
the time where they had like 30 minutes before her mother had to be zapped back into her dimension, and Mikey's like, "No, we need to have a meeting now."
Ripped off Wrath of Khan.
What she? Okay, I'm having trouble
with her mom. It was so Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
When they put their hands together on the force field. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay, confusing subplot, blinking lights, something gross happens. Nothing gross really happened. There's always darkness.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else was gross in there. Oh no, they stabbed. The Leland stuff. Any of the Leland stuff was kind of gross.
Okay.
Yeah, they were a bit too much on that. I'd agree.
They stabbed Ash in the gut.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, where'd all that blood come from? What the fuck? There was a bunch of that fight we didn't get to see.
Feelings, definitely feelings.
Annoying Tilly. I mean,
Annoying Tilly.
some of these
All
things
right.
you don't have to erase the red marks, do you? You are so amazing, definitely, wasn't it?
Yeah, because her
Yes.
mom said that like 20 times. Pretentious title, definitely. I'm sure there was lens flare in there. So we got a bingo.
It was
there.
nothing
Yeah, I
but
think
lens
so.
flare.
Hey, we got a bingo. All right, we got one bingo.
There's a couple of
Stooge-
cringe moments.
Yeah, cringe.
What are Stooge crew members? Are those like
When they like are the Three Stooges when they're basically falling all over each other and stuff.
Well, there's that, or just pointless.
But we
stupid-
had a guy rolling by in a wheelchair.
Who was that guy?
what was that? What was my son? Was my 12-year-old was like, what was that?
probably somebody who's friend of somebody who got on the show.
No, I think
Which-
they wanted an extra that just to show some differently abled representation. That has to be it.
But if it's the 23rd, was it 22nd?
I know.
century?
Well, that's how
23rd
dumb they
century?
are. That's how dumb they are.
So okay, so that counts as a cheap retcon. Even confusing subplot.
I would
I
say
would-
yes. I would
I
say
would
yes.
substitute and I would almost substitute empathy for faith anytime they say faith. Because they're like saying they're throwing around faith so much like they're a freaking cult or something.
Okay,
Well, everything
no.
that Georgia was doing was out of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did we have an unfunny joke?
I was
sure.
trying to remember.
Like
I think so
science?
with Tilly in the beginning. Yeah,
Okay.
Tilly in the beginning.
Okay, here we
too.
go.
Yeah,
So we got people say the diagonal bingos don't count, but we have them.
only
But we
one
have
guy
that.
did once. He's wrong.
Oh, Stooge, I think we do have
bingo
Stooge.
plenty with my grandma.
Okay. Shelby method, blinking lights, wooden mic.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Can I get a flag on the plate? What is the Shelby method?
Okay, so the Shelby method is when they go through and they shout out as much like technobabble and dialogue so rapidly that you kind of forget it. It sort of distracts you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
This
it's this
whole-
huge article.
This whole arc has been Shelby
Mhm.
method. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
I was just
you
gonna say
forget.
so this whole episode was
Yeah, that you forget how bad it is. You're like, oh my god, they totally did say that because by the time you will remember, they're on to like 20 other really stupid things,
I can't. The lines come out so fast.
Okay.
and they're all whispered.
We do have another bingo. We have a vertical bingo right here.
So we created a
That's
triangle.
So pretty much, yeah. So there's at least
well,
two.
there was voiceover in the beginning, wasn't there? Isn't there always?
Not in this one. No.
I
I
don't
don't know.
no,
There
this
was
one.
this one. Okay.
Mm.
Wooden Michael.
Yeah.
So we got
Blinking
we have
lights,
a-
always
Blinking
light.
lights, yeah.
okay, okay, we have at least two more. We have another diagonal.
The only thing
And
we
we
have left
have-
to see is if there was a Gilmore Girls writer on it or not.
No, I didn't see no Gilmore Girls writer. He did write for Vampire Diaries, so we have four actually. We have four bingos here. Oh shit! Oh, four bingos right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When playing bingo with how
five?
bad Discovery is more entertaining than watching Discovery.
Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five bingos. I think I might. No, what's the record? I think we had.
I think we had 6 before.
We had 6 last week.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
think we had
Well.
blackout like the first episode we tried it because we actually didn't have Spock yet. So
All right. See, we got five this week. Thank you for playing Star Trek Bingo. We should get like
We
a
all
game show. Like the old match game music. Wow.
I said it, use the theme song.
Bam, STD bingo, STD bingo, STD bingo. Time to play STD bingo. Okay, we'll work on that. Work on that for next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely work on it.
Okay, so
So yeah, thank you, Q Storm, formally for joining us once again here on Star Trek Recovery.
Wait, he's formerly Q Storm. If he's formerly Q Storm, then who is he now?
The artist.
I was
the
introducing
artist
him.
formerly known as Q Storm.
Are you one of the robots from the Mud Planet, from the Harry Mud Planet? Oh no, we better check. Is he?
Well, those
Hold
are
on, wait. Is he? Okay, no. Okay, he's all human. Okay, good.
Thank God.
No, I was formally saying hello to him since we kind of jumped right into bingo.
Well, that's quite all right. I enjoyed that.
Never sing that again, says Jeff.
STD bingo.
You had to say never again.
STD bingo.
That thing was over the moment his mother said, "Rob, quit playing with that thing. Don't ever do it again." He's like, "Oh, too late." Thing called Pornhub in his future.
Yes.
So, okay, let's start this pain. Okay, so this episode's called Perpetual Infinity. Why? Who cares at this anymore? Really?
Well, that's how long it took to get through.
Yes. Okay, so
and infinity's already infinite. It can't be perpetual. It's a fucking stupid oxymoron. This is like stupid people trying to pretend like they're smart. Look, we can throw big words together. They're redundant. Stupid people.
This show, they like find words that sound scientific and they just throw them in a hat and they pull out 5 pieces of paper and put them in a sentence.
You're right. Perpetual Infinity sounds like a Katy Perry song or something.
Yes. Oh God.
You got me on Perpetual Infinity.
So anyway,
auto-tune that and you'll sell 1 million copies.
I do have auto-tune. I do have, well, it's a free plugin. It's a free equivalent of auto-tune.
What's going on? What are you doing to me?
In the chat, let us know if you'd like to hear some of the best of Midnight's Edge's documentaries compiled in auto-tune, because that might be actually fun. Here, Andre.
Anybody wants to hear that? Well, maybe
singing.
Andre.
I do.
In 2016, Ghostbusters was released in theaters. You know. So anyway, okay. So anyway, we're treating
rock songs.
Yeah. So we're the episode opens. We're treated to nice, actual happy family, which is rare for Star Trek Discovery, and it's Mr. and Mrs. Burnham, and they're on the Vulcan science station. I think their name was Doctari.
Now, was that the same girl, or did she just age a lot?
You know what? I asked myself, this girl looks older.
She's way older than like the rest of the season. Either that or it's a different girl. It kind of looks like a different actress. She looks so different.
Yeah. Well, maybe she aged backwards but during the trip to Vulcan.
Yeah, that's how they retcon it.
You know, the thing I got from this family, I kind of like that. I can say it reminded me of the family, Annika's family, 7 of 9.
Yes, from Voyager, yeah.
Yeah, I like those scenes. I did like those scenes.
The young version of Michael Burnham is a much better actress, at least in this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Q-Storm brings up a good point, though. I mean, you like those scenes because it makes you actually connect with the characters, and as we all know, you can't have that on this show.
You mean they were human? Is that what you're getting at? They were human?
Yes, exactly. It humanizes the characters.
Oh,
hey, look! They might actually be people I want to follow. You know, they have live
Star Trek Discovery. This was the most human.
Nice.
So anyway, Mrs. Burnham and Daddy Burnham, they're doing their research, and Mikey Sue Burnham is in the she's looking through the thing. Oh, I see a new star in the sky, and it's coming toward us. Of course, it's the Klingons, and says, go hide, baby. And we see that she has the prototype of the time suit all ready to go. Why isn't that convenient? And so she hides in the closet and she jumps 950 years in the future. Mikey Spock wakes up from a in a cold sweat and it's like, oh yeah, where am I? And you're in sickbay. And it's like, oh, and we go from there. And there, you know, here's the problem I have with this. Okay, first of all, you create a time suit. Okay, all right, okay, fine. You know what? I like some I do admit I like outlandish stuff, and I'm willing to suspend my disbelief. But it's powered by something called a time crystal.
What the hell is that? What is that?
I don't know.
It's like an infinity stone.
Yes, an infinity stone. A time crystal that they bought from a guy named Mac Guffin. Really, that's
a time crystals. You can get that. I can buy that in Star Wars, not in Star Trek.
Even in Star Wars, that's stretching it because they have never used time travel in Star Wars.
No, Star Wars has never done that. It would never be in Star Wars.
Let's stop for a moment. How many times now have we had time travel in Star Trek? And all of a sudden, they're so fucking lazy.
Yep.
They have to literally come up with something called the Time Stone to as a story, whatever you want to call it, excuse for the.
Well, you're a geek. You like the Infinity Stones. You'll like this, right? It's the same difference.
No, I like my Star Trek slingshotting around the sun. Thank you very much.
There you go. You know, you got to get a ding, 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 ding sound effect. You got to get that.
I think we have a ding.
We do have a ding. Hold on. Where's my epic win? Damn it. I don't have the epic win, though. There you go. Good answer. Okay.
And another thing later again, the logic of Star Trek and why these writers do not use it.
I mean, when you have 50 years when you have 50 years of stuff to draw upon and you're coming up with time crystals, I'm insane.
It's because they watch the Avengers. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have to make this sound plausible. So what do? Let's just what's popular now? The Avengers. Oh, what's
shouting around the sun, going through a time, like a wormhole or whatever. That would have made more sense. Like if
a wormhole would have made perfect sense. You wouldn't even have to explain. Just say wormhole. Got it.
Yeah, she was going through time. The suit wasn't exactly ready for time travel. She wound up getting sucked into a wormhole like they did in the first movie.
Yeah. You see now there's, like I said, there's always been a certain science to Star Trek that you could buy into. Like say, oh well, faster than light speed. Somebody saying something?
Well, I just said how many times have we been stuck in time loops on Star Trek?
Yeah, how many times? Yeah, exactly. But I was about to say, you can say now. I mean, there's that whole theory that if you travel faster than light, it actually time slows down. There's the time dilation, but there's actually there's the theory of what they call the Alcubierre drive. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, where the ship.
Are you talking about the theory of where, like, just to kind of explain for our audience, and if I'm right or wrong, like Einstein would say, if you go ahead in time or whatever, everything will age on Earth or whatever, regardless, blah, 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 blah. Just like going through space, the speed of light. That's what you're getting to, right? Everything will age.
Yeah. They did this on Interstellar pretty well.
Yeah, and then the drive you're talking about, though, regulates that, basically.
Well, the drive, the Alcubierre drive, actually, where the ship stands still and space moves around it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean that you could say, well, okay, how do they travel from all points of the galaxy, without age? And then you can say, well, it must be some kind of variation of the Alcubierre drive, where, like I said, where it creates this warp, this like shell around the ship. They even talk about this static warp shells or whatever, and that's how that happens. Granted, it's only a theory right now, but but they've done the math. They said it could work. The only problem is that any particles trapped in the warp shell with you will get propelled forward, as it might destroy a planet. But anyways, that's for another
brought up, and Mark Lisseth just brought up in the chat. There is an actual time crystal, but it's something that just changes ions over time. So yeah, I mean, again, I was making a joke with the whole quartz thing, time X crap. But anyway,
yeah, Mage Gray, yes, the drive moves space, yes, that's warp moves space much faster. Okay, yeah. But like I said, but we're getting off topic.
Well,
Yeah,
even
that's
Star Wars. If you want to get
Well, like-
technical, how come the Millennium Falcon is supposed to be the quote unquote fastest ship? Isn't because it's the fastest. It's because that bitch of a computer can find the quickest shortcuts.
yes. But anyway, but like I said, it's just like they're not even trying though. They're not even trying to apply any sort of science to this.
But can I say what makes it more insulting is that not only are they not applying any science, but they're creating these, you put it best, MacGuffins during the actual show for the first time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need it. The writers need this to happen. What can we do? Like you said, Avengers. I just saw that a couple days ago on DVD. Something to do with crystals. That works. Use it.
Yeah. And there's
so much easier than using the sciences.
Yes, Troy Tempest with a $2.99 Australian dollar super chat.
A die.
Hail Midnight's Edge. Hail Troy Tempest. So, but okay. So anyway, continuing on with the show. Okay, so Mrs. Mikey Spock, Mikey Mom Spock, or whatever her name is, she's recovering and she's still in the stasis field, and they're
well, they have this thing where she gets bounced back in time. We already got that established from now they're trying to figure out a way to bounce back the suit without her and break the tether between the two.
Yeah, she's tethered to the time she jumped to because the suit wasn't ready. That's the explanation. I'm like,
but when she's out of the suit, she's no longer tethered, right? Because the suit is what causes the tether. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're right, but
you're not wrong. But they kind of explain it. Kind of, I'm assuming it's like the suit has like it uses her. She's a part of it.
Well, she does say that there's DNA at the last minute. Of course, she said there's her DNA is tied to the suit.
Yeah,
exactly. And so, like, there was this whole debate on whether or not it would even work. And Mikey's like, "Trust me, it's gonna work." But then everything gets sabotaged by Mir Georgiou and the Borg. I don't care. It's the Borg.
It is the Borg. And Leland.
It
okay,
is.
well, Leland is strapped to a table. Okay, and Control is creating these holograms of Mikey Spock, and then of as Doomcock calls him, Cuckton Gillette Puke. So. And of Saru, but here's my question: if the Control AI is an AI, it has no physical form. How did he get strapped to the table?
Yep. Oh, didn't it take over the holograms?
That's how little thought they put into this.
He strapped himself in.
Well, not only that, does the Borg not really necessarily have like I mean, I know they kind of have an overall goal, but they've never really acted like straight up bad guys per se until First Contact, right? Because I kind of vaguely remember from the series, they kind of just have like a.
They want to collect and
well, I mean, as long as you're not, I just know as long as you're not like a threat to them, they won't do anything to you, and. They're really just a big computer. So what they're doing is just like
they're a hive mind. They're a hive mind.
Yeah.
They're trying to assimilate all species.
Right.
Is what it is.
But have they ever, outside of Star Trek First Contact, though, have they ever really went out of the way to be overly villainy? That's kind of what I'm trying to get to.
They did do.
Not really.
Well, they destroyed Guinan's planet.
Yeah, that's right.
The Elarians?
Was it for a reason, or was it for just because they want to be assholes? Because that's the thing with this is like this Borg, this version of the Borg is trying very hard to be very villainous.
Well, no, the Borg just kind of is, that's the thing. The Borg, they're not really good.
They're a force of nature. They're a force of nature. That's
Q-Storm, you're familiar with Marvel Comics, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like Galactus. Galactus is neither good nor evil.
Perfect example.
Galactus merely is. I mean, so the Borg just kind of is. Yeah, okay, it might be interesting to find out where they came from, but they're just they are Borg. That's it.
Well, Slithering Peanut says Voyager made the Borg into a malevolent force. That's what I was getting to. I don't recall ever seeing them straight up malevolent so much as we just get in their way or interrupt whatever they're doing, or like you said, they're just like locusts kind of taking over. But it's not because out of any, Well,
that's true, but that's why I don't like First Contact that much, because they introduced the Borg Queen, and she was
exactly,
she gave the face of malevolency, or if that's a word.
That's what I always thought, and that's kind of where I bring that up, because I was like, before that, to my knowledge, the Borg, like you said, was more of a force of nature than just the whole thing with Leland. If this is the Borg, big asterisks there, that they're handling it very poorly, in my opinion, and they're making the Borg out to be just a straight up villain that wouldn't logically think that way. If is that making sense to you guys?
No, I hear you. I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought. You know what? I thought that the effects looked very Borgish, but now that I think about it, you're right.
The moment they injected the nanites or whatever, I knew that was what was going on.
The nanoprobes.
Oh my God! Just another reason to hate this episode.
Yep. Why?
Yeah.
Why
well,
do we
not only that, if this is the case, then why didn't the Borg just assimilate Geordi and just do what it had to do? That's what it would do. It wouldn't ask a human to do its job for it.
No. It would.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Just like everything else. Like how did he strap himself to the chair? And then and Q Storm, you brought up something just before the show that your son noticed, to where he's like, once you get on the ship and you get everything in order, or once you get down there and you get not the ship, but the
planet, the outpost.
Yeah, when you get everything planted to where we can start uploading the data, let us know. And then you said they cut to the next scene and he's already uploading the data. And it's like, and not only that, like, it's just the whole thing was like, okay, why did she do it in the first place when she should have known? You've got this character who's like acting like she knows something's up and something's not right, yet she continues to go through the motions until the last minute. And then she has this total change of heart. And that's another thing with this Georgiou is, yeah, we get it. She's supposed to be hung up on Mikey Spock, but she is completely changed too much too quickly.
Yep.
Because I enjoy the character to a point, but it's like she's starting to do things that are unbelievable, because at least Georgiou at first, everything she did was for her own means in the end. Now it's like she's looking out way too much for Mikey Spock. I understood what Tyler did. His part completely made sense. And we'll get to him in a minute too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Stephen Klein says Section 131 created the Borg. Well, they are now. Tolnai Janos says the Star Trek Destiny novel trilogy gives a good origin story of the Borg. Yeah, but that would involve reading, and there's no way these writers actually do any of that. So they're not going to do homework.
They don't even watch their own show.
No.
It's like they don't pay attention. That's why things are completely different. That's why Georgiou's so different.
Did you say this, or did Gary Beekler say this, that the writers of each show, each individual episode, don't even watch the ones before? They never really watch the episode before.
Oh yeah, I've said that too. Yeah, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Here's
a question. Here's another plot hole. Unless you guys can correct me, I remember distinctly that Admiral Cornwell, said that all the Starfleet admirals input. The purpose of control is for all of the Starfleet admirals to input situations or data or facts into control, and control spits out possible solutions that they can choose to use or not follow. But then in this episode, I thought I heard someone say that only Section 31 uses control. I didn't
catch that. Did you guys?
I didn't catch that either.
I didn't pay attention.
I do remember them talking about control, but I don't remember that line, to be honest. If somebody in the chat does, let us know. Yeah. Marcus said that too, so maybe they did.
So anyways,
I made a note of that. I made a note that that's another thing where they didn't even look at the last episode, two episodes ago, to before they wrote this one.
So anyway, oh boy. So anyway, there's this whole thing, and Gary Beekler, actually, Nerdrotic, pointed this out. Control wants to be an AI, but so they're assimilating more data to be an AI. But if Control want, and so it could be sentient. But if Control wants to be, knows it has to assimilate, then it means it's already wants to assimilate more data to be sentient, then it's already sentient, and it wants to be an AI. But why does it want to be an AI if it's already an AI and it's already an AI? Why does it want to become an AI? And it's just like, wait a minute, whoa, what?
Right. Not only that,
make up your mind.
Just like the whole idea of the future rests upon the Borg not getting all that data uploaded, like that's going to make a big difference. And they got half the data or whatever almost, so now that's going to come into play here or whatever. Who cares? They're going to get the data anyway. They created the data. That's what I don't get. That's kind of another thing that kind of made me question it. I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to be? I don't know. So
anyway, there's a scene where Mikey Spock's mom is being interrogated, and Mikey Spock wants to go down, and I'm so emotional. My mom left me. Blah blah blah. Shut up. I don't care. Grow up hair. Well, yeah. Anyway, so there's she makes a comment to Mikey Spock's mom makes a comment to Captain Gillette Puke. I've seen your future. Do you want to know how it turns out? Not particularly. I'm like, oh, she had to say that. Hint. Foreshadow. And so they're trying to come up with a plan to separate her from the suit. And so they introduced the second Deus Ex Machina MacGuffin, the dark matter.
and so we're led to believe that they actually had a plan when they introduced that in the third episode. Episode.
Yeah, and they conveniently haven't mentioned it before. And haven't mentioned it since until they needed it.
And meanwhile, they haven't mentioned it before. Jet Reno is still trapped under something heavy, apparently, because we haven't heard from her.
I wish I could more play the field.
Sorry. Speaking of which, where is Jet Reno? She's supposed to be this genius, and she's nowhere to be found.
Maybe they finally locked her up because she was a mad scientist and probably disassembled half of her crew, thinking they were machines.
Yeah, what happened to the crew? Are they dead or alive? What?
I don't know. They forgot about them.
It's amazing these writers. Well, we don't need that. Put it over there in the closet. Just keep it over there for a while.
So anyway, they come up with the idea that the pattern enhancers are going to be going to have dark matter, and it's the containment field. They're going to enhance the field with dark matter, and that is going to be enough that when the suit gets ripped back into the future, it's supposed to leave Mikey's mommy Spock here.
Well, another big part of that is that they were going to put all of the sphere data in the suit, and it would be ripped back so that AI couldn't get to it.
Oh, for God's sake! Let me tell you, I'm holding an 8 gig flash drive. So suddenly now there's this infinite. Remember when they were saying it's overloading our storage banks.
Yep.
How much data did the sphere have? Now they're treating it like it's a
flash drive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they forget it's just convenient. It's as full as it needs to be for the plot, right?
Yeah. And Mikey Spock's mom is saying that she has to destroy the data, because if the data is allowed to exist, then Control is going to wipe out all sentient life in the universe. But we have to save the data, but you have to destroy it. And again, if the data can be downloaded into something, why not put it onto a flash drive or to a DVD disc, DVD-ROM, and burn it? I don't understand.
I'll do you one better. This is supposed to be a completely computer sentient being or whatever, right? Why doesn't it just download it itself?
That's a good
the data, can it?
Because they didn't think of that, because these are soap opera writers, not science fiction writers or fans.
Everybody here's seen Age of Ultron, right?
Yes.
Remember, Ultron was connected to the net. He could just download himself into a new body if his old body gets destroyed.
Very true.
I mean, really. These guys, these writers, soap opera writers, and they really didn't think anybody had done that before. That's an idea in science fiction. I remember that idea going back pretty far. Well,
they would have had to have seen something science fiction. These writers probably watch HGTV all day, or the CW. Seriously, they don't watch science fiction. They're watching Real Housewives.
One of them's writing credits was Vampire Diaries.
Exactly.
What is with Michelle Paradise? She worked on this vampire show, gay vampire show. What is with them and vampires? They're 5 years behind the curve. This Twilight shit is over.
Can I throw another wrench into this?
Absolutely. You don't have to ask. Just speak up. That's what we roll here.
I don't want to get ahead of the agenda, and I might be jumping ahead. I'm just confused. So, what are the 7 signals? How does that? I'm lost. I've forgotten how those tie into the whole plot. We got the 7 signals.
That was originally supposed to be where the Red Angel was kind of appearing to Spock, and there was some weird overarching plot altogether, and
because she has no control, but for some reason she can manage to send out signals to these points where shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Those were supposed to be the 7 signals were supposed to be where the Red Angel appears, and
not only that, she was creepy watching her daughter do God knows what her whole life too.
Yeah, and I'm like, if she's appearing in all these different points in time, isn't she creating all of these wormholes there? And when we saw her create the wormhole, what was it, last episode? It was pretty fucking dramatic. I mean, you think that if she's going to all these different points in time, there'll be records or something. There was a phenomenon here, there was a phenomenon there.
Yeah, and they said there's her mission. She has mission logs, and there's 841 mission logs. Why is there no records of 840 different log entries from Starfleet Command or Starfleet Central, whatever, of 841 anomalies appearing?
Right.
It's only 7, really.
They're
treating
lights.
They're treating them. You know what they are? They're treating the suit as the TARDIS. That's what it is.
Because they can't use the tardigrade, so they had to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what they would have done. They would have had the tardigrade going throughout Alpha. Oh, and he left us all these things, and we need to go and spore over and find it.
Yeah. The suit that this is their version of the TARDIS. So let's see. There you go. There, Mikey Spock's mom's appearing right now, and she's showing up, and she's gonna save the day, and she's gonna spy on Mikey Spock.
Is it just me, or is it so insulting to the character of Michael Burnham to have her mother suddenly show up? Because you've kind of undone all of her character arc of having to deal with being raised on Vulcan, and now it's like, oh, doesn't matter, her mommy's back. None of this.
Everything else.
So they undid that.
A throwaway line, just like everything else.
Because we didn't meet Geordi's mom until what, season fucking 7?
Yeah.
Because she just chews her mom out a little bit, and her mom's like, I'm sorry, but I've seen you in all these points in history, so that makes it all better.
And it's also that she's raised on Vulcan. Wouldn't it be illogical for her to even have any relationship with this woman who she's already mourned and been past? She couldn't, it would be illogical for her to have a relationship with her now, especially since, they don't know if she could stay there. Why? Does she just forget she's raised on Vulcan and she was trying to be a Vulcan?
Well, one thing I learned was that I see why Burnham acts so fucking over dramatic after meeting the mom.
Oh God, the mother! I'm like, you just had to pick the bitchiest actress to play the bitchiest actress's mother, like her character, I guess. They came across so unlikable, so rough.
Are you kidding? Yeah, I mean, I like I said, when they showed those scenes with the family at the beginning, I was like, wait a minute, I'm sensing something here. It's human. It's actual humans. I'm liking this. Then when we meet her,
that was good.
When we meet her in the later in the future, in the present day of the show, I'm like, why is she can I say this word? Why is she acting like such a bitch now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Robot a bitch, so I don't see why not.
Well, I don't want you to get demonetized again.
We're already demonetized.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. I think automatically if something comes up Star Trek Discovery, we're like demonetized right away. It seems like.
Well, I think Michael Burnham is one of those trigger words that'll get you. It is, because Lore Reloaded found something like that, and he tweeted it out not too long ago.
I mean, seriously, I understand that she's going through a lot of trauma, and I hate the fact that They want us to like Burnham or feel something for her, not because she's a human being, a three-dimensional human being, but just because she has so many things happening in her life. Oh, feel sorry for her. I don't. And she's a Starfleet officer. I've had, I don't know how many years of how many Star Trek series where these people have been turned into salamanders, they've de-evolved into monsters, this and that, and they still act like fucking Starfleet officers. They're not crying every other scene. It's deep space. Shit happens. Get over it. You signed up for this.
Not only that, the way she had to take time. Now, I've complained about this. She took time to stop, to go and chew out the captain saying, hey, I know my mother, you can only hold her for so long, for like 42 minutes or something. But no, we need to have a meeting about why I can't be there and why I can't see her, even though she requested, that I'm not there, that she doesn't see me. It's like, we're going to waste time and have this meeting because Michael Burnham is so damn important. She can't just eat it for 2 seconds.
She doesn't act like a Starfleet officer.
No, nobody acts like Starfleet officer. They don't act like military.
Technically, she's not even a Starfleet officer because she just showed up and they gave her position. Remember?
Yeah. Because she went to the Vulcan Science Academy.
Oh, I want everybody to go into the writer's room and go, but what does she do? And get a straight answer.
She does everything. She's a xenoanthropologist. And
but what
a
does
test
she
pilot.
Do?
And
but what does she do? No, what is her job on the fucking ship? What does she do? Nothing.
She's a specialist. She's there to she's
there to be the specialist.
Specialist who specializes in nothing. Okay, so anyway, how far along are we in the plot here? So
let's get to I Like Science yet.
So anyway, so they're trying to come up with a solution, and they think they come up with it, blah 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 blah, and that's the I Like Science part,
So what we kind of forgot is that they're doing this thing where they keep quoting scientific terms. They're like quoting Newton's laws of physics and all these things, and they're just quoting them to name drop as a fucking reference. They aren't even getting the physics right. They're saying, oh yes, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's not how that works in space.
Newton's first law of motion. That's my favorite.
Shut up, Tilly. No, and it's so irrelevant too. It is just the Big Bang Theory audience level of science knowledge. Big Bang Theory at least had physicists on the show. So bad.
That's it. I'm really getting tired. I'm getting tired of these people on Discovery. That's it. It might be time for me to kick some ass. So don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I'm warning you people. Now, who's gonna be the first? Tom, who's gonna be the first to go? Tom.
Go, Tom.
I think
I'm trying to find the video I had.
Oh, it's on. That's the live from last night. Yeah.
But okay. So anyway. Leland is saying. So Leland is tricking him into downloading the sphere data, and they go back down the planet. And they're trying to come up with a way to keep Mikey Spock's mom there. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. Nobody cares. And so Georgiou and Leland and they have to get into a big kung fu fight.
Oh.
Whoa, ho, ho.
I like
everybody was kung fu fighting.
I like turtles.
I like science.
I like science and I cannot lie.
I like science. I like this one.
I like big Asian butts and I cannot lie.
I couldn't find that clip. I was looking for it too, and I wanted something with video though.
Isn't there a Patrick?
I like big Asian butts and I cannot lie.
There you go. Right on time.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, like I said, they're kung fu fighting. Those kicks were fast as lightning.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I got to give this credit. This is the first time in a long time where I actually felt like the action was being pushed along by the story instead of just because we need action and pew pew.
Yeah.
Just because it was stupid. It was stupid. The story was stupid. None of it made sense. Don't get me wrong. So it was kind of like, a school orchestra where they get through America the Beautiful, but it doesn't sound so beautiful, but they actually just got through it. Everybody tried. They get an E for effort. We all got what they were trying to play, at least. Sure.
Yeah, speaking as the father of a 12-year-old, after they get through America the Beautiful, I'm looking at my watch saying, can we go now?
Exactly.
Well, I'm not saying that.
2 more hours.
It just kind of felt like Star Trek for once, to where the action was being, predicated for by the story itself.
The characters were actually the characters were actually determining the action rather than the action determining the direction of the characters.
There you go.
Yeah.
But does it matter?
So anyway,
I didn't care. I mean,
that's the problem. That's the problem. I was falling asleep through the whole episode. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So anyway, what happens is Leland takes the hostage, and all the male security guards get killed. And there's a shootout. And since when in Star Trek do phasers not incinerate people?
Well, maybe they had them on a setting that didn't incinerate.
Stun setting, yeah. But Leland gets hit twice, I think.
I'm sick of the pew 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 anyway. It's supposed to be straight beams last time.
There's that. There is that. But even the phasers on the ships do that now. And that's straight out of Kelvin.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So pew 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 pew, and they get the end. So
they had special guns, wasn't it, in the Next Generation movies that did that, or one of the original movies that did that? So they specifically could have that.
Yeah,
it was like a special kind of gun, though.
Well, yeah. Well, at least Picard, he kicked ass old school style in First Contact. So
I will pop a cap in your ass, sir.
So, well, all right. So pew pew pew, and so they get, and so they're going to open up the wormhole to yank the suit back. They're going to separate Mikey Spock. Mike's, I have to go. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada. Nobody cares. And so what's their plan? What's the plan to boost the energy? Shoot the reflectors for the containment field, because that will create an unlimited amount of energy for some bizarre reason.
Is that what they said? I was probably lost at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not so much that it was supposed to jumpstart everything or whatever.
Shooting the reflectors?
Yes.
The field generators, reflectors, whatever it is.
I'm not good at maths. I'm not good at sciences, but
I don't know the math.
You'd be hired.
My brain hurt. I know. I could totally write circles around these writers just because I've actually watched some Star Trek.
Meanwhile, this is, okay, you got me in the writer's room. This is, okay, here's how you take down Leland. Anybody else got a problem?
I like it.
Sometimes you got to go old school.
Don't do that. They might fire you from coming back next season.
Well, I think they forgot that they have these things where they can actually beam people here and there and everywhere.
Yeah. So okay, so they're coming.
Handy, I don't know how many times during this fight, and later for Mr. Tyler Vach while he's dying on the floor, crawling to an escape pod for no good goddamn reason.
Yeah, Leland stabs Tyler Vach. Yeah. Leland stabs Tyler
the guy, okay?
Yeah. Leland stabs Tyler Vach. Tyler Vach sends out a desperate message to Gillette Puke.
Leland is all he says.
Leland, and thunk.
And that's where I'm like, Pike, what are you doing? That's where you go, sick bay, prepare for an emergency patient, and then you call down there and go, hey, beam him up.
You mean like they should have done Arium and set up a containment field?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, how many times could that have come in handy when they were fighting Leland in the fight? Why didn't they just beam Leland or beam the other ones out of there or do something?
So there's escape pod, blah blah blah. They beam him. They decide to beam him aboard when he ejects in the escape pod, not before when he ejects the escape pod. And so since when we're going to destroy the station down there. There's blah blah blah. Mikey Spock's mom gets sucked back to the wormhole. Big sadness. And they said we're going to destroy the station. pew 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 with the photon torpedoes, but now they shoot out of the nacelles. Since when?
Oh, I missed that part. I gotta. Wow.
Well, yeah, and then of course the Borg beamed back up to Section 31 ship. And then that's when we find out Tyler Bach's just floating in space, and the ship takes off. Yeah,
ship takes off. We can't track them. Like I thought you did that a couple episodes ago. Track people through warp. I thought you could do that now. Well, anyway,
yeah, right. Yep. Now here's my question: wormhole. Is it possible for a human being to go through a wormhole without any type of,
She should be dead, but she's not going to be.
Do wormholes have suction? I know it's I just don't get. I know this. I can buy the fact that the suit gets sucked back in through some sort of tether, but I still don't. They don't really explain to my satisfaction why she does when she's outside of the suit.
Because she's tethered regardless. Because that was the whole point. Even though she could get out of the suit in that little bubble, that's what that bubble was for.
Okay.
Was to be able to allow her to get out of the suit, and the suit not allow to go back. But that's where that stupid gravity bullshit was coming in. Is basically they were fucking with the time-space continuum by not allowing the suit to go back where it was supposed to go, I guess. Which to me makes no sense. But anyhow, so then the whole thing was they go through this whole fucking 9 yards to figure out how to get her untethered from the suit for it not to fucking matter. And they're going to set up this thing where we're supposed to think she's dead and she's going to still be alive somewhere down the road when it's more convenient for them. And then again, like I said, the whole Tyler Bach thing was, again, why didn't they just beam him aboard the first place? Somebody said he didn't put up a fight. I think he did. I think it got cut out. Because when you see him broadcasting to Pike, he's bloody as fuck. He wasn't that bloody in the fight when he first got stabbed. So I think there was a whole nother bit of the fight we didn't get to see. But regardless, that doesn't matter. But
did you notice they used the comm badges again?
Yes.
Yeah.
A full 150 years before they were introduced.
And it's really easy and convenient to get a secure line. I noticed that too. Just like that.
I can't even get a signal on Verizon in parts of my house. they got secure.
Well, not only that, you have an enemy that supposedly has basically infiltrated all of your computer, and I would imagine your communications and everything else. None of this makes sense. I don't. When did they put up a firewall? I forgot. I missed that part.
They discontinued the transfer of the data. They discontinued.
No, but remember that the entire fucking thing had gotten into this STD the last episode or whatever it was.
Yeah,
it got into Discovery as well.
Yeah, it was already.
That's what I'm trying to figure all this shit out. It's like none of their logic makes any sense with this AI shit. Like they've got us all going through like hoops and ladders and chutes and everything else trying to figure this shit out. When really there is no logic to it. We're putting more thought into it right now than they did.
Yep. I'm still stuck on the fact that Section 31, they're a lousy covert operation. Because everybody fucking knows about
the worst kept secret in Starfleet. They really are.
Because she even says something about the longer you're with them, your reputation is sullied, basically, in so many words. It's like, well, how would anybody know? They're supposed to be super secret club.
First rule of Section 31.
Tell everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all the rules that are in Fight Club are the opposite for Section 31. It's almost as bad as Sector 7 or whatever in the Transformer movies, too. It's like the first thing they do is advertise who the fuck they are, too. Pretty much. It's like the Men in Black walking in the door going, hey, we're the Men in Black. Is there any aliens here? No, did you notice that they do that shit as low as possible, as low key as possible? And then when shit hits the fan, that's what the neuralizer's for? You know, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because they're low key. They don't want to get noticed. That's why.
I don't know about you, but I'm online shopping right now.
Of course you are, because it's Star Trek Discovery. So yeah, we've gotten about to the end of this episode now. She got sucked in the hole. Tyler Bach isn't dead, which I thought maybe they were actually going to kill him off for once.
Tom, wait, say that again. She got sucked where?
Stop it.
She got sucked into a hole.
Hey, phrasing.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that mean? Oh, okay. Sounds cool.
No,
She got sucked into a hole. Giggity, 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 giggity.
Oh, yeah.
So they looked like they were actually going to really kill Vok Tyler finally
It did.
because of how much and how much blood and gore and just it was horrible, right? He
Well,
gets
I
stabbed in the
forgot
stomach.
about him. That's what I said. It's like, why didn't Pike beam him on board then? You know, obviously he's in a hostile environment. Get him the fuck out of there. Wouldn't that be your first protocol in this situation as a captain? Is to get your crew out of trouble?
These guys don't write for the captain. This whole concept of Burnham being the perspective of the show, it's failed miserably. Because to them, that means that they write all of the things that the captain should do, they give it to Burnham to do.
Yeah, because it should have been Pike's call whether or not they let Mama go back with the suit or let her stay. It should have been his complete call. And really, he should have been like, look, this is the only chance we have in destroying the control or whatever it is by sending this suit through a loop with all the information on it. And you stay here. We figured it out. Then fine, just do that. Why does it have to become complicated at the last minute? It makes no sense to me. It was already convoluted in the first fucking place. And then, like I said, we're left to think that Tyler finally died. Oh, he's just floating around in space in a goddamn pod. Oh, nice. So you just left a dying man to die. Don't they have sensors for that shit? Like, can't they sense that he was still alive and not getting any...
Hold on. Now, these are the same sensors that, 3 episodes ago, they thought they were tracking Spock, but it was actually Giorgio.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We can scan an entire planet in a matter of seconds and let you know exactly how many people are on it or species.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? But they said, oh, they've gone to warp and we have no way to track them. Have they always been able to track warp signatures in Star Trek?
Yes. Always.
But the writers said, well, we can't have them do that because then we can't finish our story. But we'll have them do it next episode if we need them to.
Oh God, the previews for next episode make the next episode look so bad.
I mean, what happened with I'm not really good on the behind the scenes stuff. What happened from season 1 where all I had to do was make some concessions about how the Klingons looked, how the uniforms looked, and all that, but I still enjoyed it. And the writing was not as bad, but the season 2, it sucks.
Because they were probably working off of Brian Fuller's stuff for a little while.
Brian Fuller's there were still some of Brian Fuller's ideas. How much?
A little more hands off, because he even said that. He's confirmed that, but we also know he was working on other shit.
So he came in and took more of the reins, and that's why.
Yes.
There you go.
And also, we've heard, the many rumors about shit going on behind the scenes with arguments. I'll be 100% honest. People call our leaks shit just being made up. No, we get people who are behind the scenes in the show who work for it because they've loved Star Trek their whole life, and that's what they do now, and they don't agree with what they're doing. So that's where we find out most of our information, guys. I'll be completely honest with you on that. So that just goes to show you that even within the organization itself, there are people who are like, this shit does not make sense, or I don't agree with this, or this is garbage, and they've gone through how many different showrunners now? I think we counted 5
in less than 2 seasons. So they're changing out bosses every 6 months, more than
do that normally on a show. That's not normal.
You're a football fan, right?
Yeah, to a certain degree. Yeah.
Well, if you go through 5 coaches in 2 seasons, you're not winning. You're not winning shit.
No,
yeah, exactly. There's no direction. If you go through 5 coaches in 5 seasons, you got problems.
Yeah.
Plus, they reshot. How many episodes in the first season and this season? We know at least the first 5 episodes were either reshoots or had a large portion of them reshot. We know that, right?
Of the second season you're talking.
Yeah. And then the first season, we know they reshot the entire first few episodes, I think it was, from scratch, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they reshot. I think they had to reshoot the last.
At least
like,
the pilot.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
was reshot. It counts technically as 2 episodes, but I want to say the 3rd episode was reshot too.
Yeah, the 3rd episode, because that's sort of the second pilot.
That's what we kept saying, yeah, because it felt like that
And-
second episode was more of a second pilot. Yeah.
And you want to know the sad thing is there are parts of that 3rd episode I actually do like, because
Well, when she was in
Lorca actually,
prison and it made logical sense, yeah.
but Lorca actually comes across as a captain.
Yes.
in parts of that episode, he has concerns.
Lorca is a better captain, and he's mirror universe than Pike is.
Mhm.
Which is sad because it's just the writing. Because Anson Mount is doing the best he can with nothing.
I agree.
mean,
I agree.
He's like, a Broadway actor in the park doing the best he can standing on a bench somewhere. That's really what I feel like for the guy. It's like he should really be somewhere much, much, much,
Mhm.
better
Somewhere
than
good. Somewhere good.
Yeah.
Imagine if Anson Mount was on on an actual Star Trek show.
Wasn't it
Imagine
good?
He'd be
Imagine
great.
if he was. Imagine if he was on Next Generation, or if he was on, or if he even on Voyager
He
or
did it.
something like that,
He did it,
or
yeah.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
I say
I would
if-
have preferred him on Enterprise to Bacula. I think he would have been better.
I
Oh,
don't get the hate for Bacula. Am I the only guy who does it?
that's a stroke of genius.
That's why I'm
I guess-
here.
I guess maybe it's just some of the choices they made with the character, perhaps. But I guess I never got. The hate
Well,
for-
my only thing with
Well-
Bacula is he's not a Star Trek fan. But that's my only beef with him. He was fine. There were some problems with that show that were not
He's like
him.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
One of the big things about this show is, like I said, and like Q Storm was right. The decision to make the first officer
Right.
the point of view character has failed miserably. Now, I'm not saying that can't work. It just in this series it hasn't worked.
Correct.
But I think like I said, if you took Anson Mount, you dropped him into a better show, that would work. And there are actually several episodes. There's many episodes of TNG that were written from Riker's perspective. First officer's even something like First Officer's Log or something like that. They don't even do.
Well,
So
wasn't a
it's
lot of
just-
Enterprise from the first officer's point of view from a lot of it too, though?
I think so. Yeah.
Could probably get away with, I would think.
First
the
off,
first-
was that to Paul? That
It
was
was to Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then not her. What's his face? I'm sorry.
Trip?
Trip.
Trip.
Yeah,
Trip.
a lot of it seemed to be from his point of view more so than anybody
oh,
else.
Trip, he was the engineer. Yeah.
But one of the things is, you can't have the first officer always be right. That's the thing. They do not want to make Michael Burnham or any of the female characters look weak. So they always have to make the male characters look incompetent. And they always want to make sure that Mikey Spock, Michael Burnham, is right. They can't ever have her not be right. Which really is it puts a drag on everything else, because then you have to tailor everything around making Michael Burnham right. So she go, oh, I told you so, or have her as the focus even when she shouldn't be. Like I said, the episode with Saru, if you remove the episode where he went back to his homeworld, there were a couple parts there were some parts that I could see, like, if this could fit into a normal Star Trek series. But when you wrote from him just going back to his home planet, dealing with his sister, oh, where were you? I thought you were dead, blah, blah, blah. If you took Mikey Spock out of that context, then you know what? Then actually that has a good premise for an episode. But no, you have to keep injecting her into everything. And she always, like I said, she always has to be the one with the solution. She always has to be the one that's right. She always has to be the one that's solving the problem.
One single episode, not one, where she was not the complete focus. 20 episodes in now.
Even episodes that should have been, like the Groundhog Day episode, should have been Stamets, because he was the one who could see outside the time loop, right? But no,
Good
it's all
point.
about Michael Burnham.
How many times have we heard the line? How many times have we heard the line where they inevitably say, "It's you, Michael"? How many times have we
Yes.
heard that line?
Mhm.
It's all about
So-
you, Michael. They even said that literally word for word with what's her face Nebula in that one episode, and then her mom kept saying kind of similar shit to her in this episode. They always go out of their way to say
This
something.
is like a fan fiction self-insert fantasy where some selfish little brat of a writer has to insert themselves inside of Star Trek, and not only that, be adopted by Spock's parents. And then have the entire universe around them because they're special and they get to help everybody and save everything and be the whole center and reason for the universe to even exist.
Gary over at Nerdrotic said this is like if Les Moonves' son wrote an episode of Star Trek and you brought writers into the writers' room, saying, "Okay, we need to punch it up, but you have to keep all his story ideas."
And they didn't even do that though, because
did you? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Tom. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was say as far as Brian Fuller goes, they took out a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
And
Nicholas too. Yeah. Did anybody notice we got a new girl on the bridge? There's a new girl on the bridge to replace Nebula.
Yeah, because that's the actress who actually played Nebula last season that they replaced with this Nebula that they killed off.
Oh, Jesus, really? I never even noticed.
Really?
That's how
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah.
I just went, hey, new girl.
Yep.
But speaking of Arium, I'm going to jump back to the last episode. In the beginning montage where everyone who barely had a conversation with Arium, memorial speech.
Oh yeah,
there was Detmer.
Mm-hmm.
She and I put this in my last review. How great would it have been if they had done an episode where Detmer, what she says, she talks about how Arium helped her to understand that she's still a fully realized human being, even though she has that ocular implant now, and she helped her get through that. Wouldn't that have made a great subplot where we can humanize both these characters and learn about Arium and Detmer? That's what it would have done. Voyager would have done that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But
you would have thought was going to be a throwaway episode earlier in the season where you had a lot of flashbacks or whatever, setting up the relationship between these two, and then you're like, oh shit, 10 episodes down the road, they had a plan for this. In this instance, it would have been 3 or 4, but I could have accepted that. But no, they try to cram the crap all in one episode.
What these writers are guilty of, they write things and they're like, okay, that explains it to the audience. No, it doesn't. You just gave these words. I want to see these things that will help me humanize your characters, your shit characters.
Cha-ching.
Yes, the Batman, the 2 pounds.
Thank you.
Super chat. Thank you. Ka-ching. I like science.
You like science. You gotta say it like that.
I like science.
Well, I linked my video of
I like science.
my handiwork, my humor.
Where was the science going?
Yeah, but you were talking about the relationship between Detmer and Robot Girl. I mean, there was a great this and actually wonderful actress was in this episode of Voyager. It's called Ashes to Ashes. QD, I don't know if you remember it offhand.
Yeah, not by title, I don't. But if you told me the plot, I might remember.
Yeah, Kim Rhodes plays Kim Rhodes plays a Starfleet officer on Voyager. She died 3 years earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yes, wonderful actress. Very moving, very touching kind of story.
The actress passed away, actually.
No, she's still alive. Kim Rhodes. I follow her on Twitter.
Oh, maybe I have the wrong episode then. Okay.
But anyways, the story is that she was killed on an away mission, and there's an alien race called the Kabali who harvest corpses, and they reanimate them as their way of reproducing rather than having children themselves. And they inject them with some kind of as the process takes hold, it erases their identity, and they become Kabali, become these aliens. And because she was human, she still retained all her previous memories.
Oh, I remember this one now. Yes, I do remember that.
Yes,
that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Yes,
there were some good episodes in Voyager.
She was trying to re-enter her daily routine on Voyager. She was trying to give her human characteristics back, and you found out that was friends with Harry Kim, and Harry Kim always wanted to tell her how much he liked, how much he loved her, never could find the right words. But in those 44 minutes, you felt more for a character they introduced with just that episode than you did for this character, any of these characters that have been on the show for 2 years, on STD for 2 years. It's amazing how they actually did that.
Dude,
And
I mean, the TNG episode I Borg.
Oh yeah,
I learned more about Hugh in 45 minutes than I have about any of these characters on Discovery.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And there was actually an episode of Voyager where 7 of 9 was actually, she was experiencing the memories, taking on the personalities of different people who had been assimilated by the Borg. I can't remember the title offhand.
Okay.
And even that, like, you thought you knew everything about the Borg. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. This introduces a whole new wrinkle. And you see her taking taking on these different personalities. She was an 8-year-old girl. She was an old man, and she was, and it's just like, just seeing the transformation, like you felt something for, like, wait, you think of all the assimilations that the Borg had performed. Like, wait a minute, these were actual living, breathing people that they assimilated with lives until they were assimilated. And like, now I'm like, wouldn't it make sense that, and you think to yourself, wouldn't it make sense if they were assimilated, that their consciousness were still somewhere in there? And it was just like, wow. And it's just like one of those things, is like, well, how much, yes, they changed, but how much of the Borg has changed now because of them? I mean, that kind of stuff is more interesting.
But see,
it's just,
you're hitting on it, Rob. What makes Star Trek great is because, to simplify it, it's not about the action, the phasers, the torpedoes, and all that, and the fights. It's about the human drama, and that stuff just punctuates it. That's what it is. The best TNG episodes. There's no phaser. Inner Light. That's one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's not a fight in that episode. There's not a phaser, as far as I can remember. There's no phasers drawn. It's one City on the Edge of Forever. No phasers.
City in Drumhead. I always point to Drumhead as one of my favorite. Yes. Going back to TOS, Court Martial.
There you go.
There was another one. Yesterday, I always had a soft spot for Tomorrow's Yesterday.
I don't remember that.
Oh, we got 2 super chats. Avenger Mark II, better $5 super chat. Better yet, the fact that you even remember Star Trek episodes. We can't remember 15 minutes to what's happened on STD.
Well, that's because they cram so much crap in there that you're forgetting half of what's going on because they're on to the next thing.
Captain Hare, $5 super chat. I'm really late. Can I get a quick recap on the suffering endured? Has Rob become a shell of himself yet? Oh, I became a shell of myself in 1997. You're too late.
We forgot to talk about Mikey Spock's death in the last episode, how agonizing it went on forever, and it's hilarious.
Q, I know you've been giving the Orville another chance with the episode Identity, but actually they did an episode recently, and this is an episode that would have fit right in with TNG, and there's actually been a couple of TNG Voyager moments in it. The episode was called Lasting Impressions.
Well, I'm sorry. What series was this? Which one?
The Orville.
Orville. Okay. All right.
Okay, I know you've been giving it another chance, and yeah. Well, okay, listen, you're trying. Okay,
I am.
You're approaching it with an open mind, and we appreciate that most of all.
Well, I haven't got to hear your feelings on it. If you have,
but there was an episode recently, most recent episode called "Lasting Impressions," where they recover a time capsule buried in 2015, and Tim Russ is in it as a historian.
Yeah, see, I want to see it because of that. I got to see it because of that.
Yes, and I don't know if you know. Let me just walk through the plot. I won't give away too much. And they find an iPhone and they manage to power it up. And there's a video of a young lady named Leslie Huggins, I believe, or played by Leighton Meester. Very talented actress, beautiful actress.
Oh, from the she was on a CW show, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was on Gossip Girl, and she's appearing in She's appearing in another episode with Brad Garrett, another series with Brad Garrett. I can't remember what it's titled, but anyway. So she records this video, and Gordon is intrigued by her. So he uploads the phone's contents and recreates a simulation of her life. And she gets to interact with a holographic simulation of her. Then he starts to fall in love with her. Now, it's very reminiscent of a couple of episodes. There's the one where Geordi recreated Dr. Brahms.
Yep.
But he was recreating a living person. Now, she was, they keep warning him. Listen, she's been dead 300 years, man. It's not real. But to him, it's real, and it's just like, okay, yes, it's a recreation, but she was an actual person. How much of the actual person am I knowing? It's just, and they bring up that Claire's relationship with Isaac. Oh, but how do we know he's an actual person? He's just a robot. And there's a lot of that stuff. And like I said, that's an episode. And if you haven't seen it, I won't give away. If you're planning on seeing it, I won't give away too much. But again, these are the types of episodes where it's not about the phasers. It's not about the alien races. It's not about the action. It's about the human drama. What do these people go through? How do these events affect them? I mean, where are they at the end of the episode compared to the beginning of the episode? And that's the thing that Discovery's missing. King Sabretooth, $5. Why don't they just blow up the ship and get rid of the data safe file? Yeah, we asked that. The Batman, Geordi La Forge is a 24th century cyber stalker. Yes, he is.
He kind of was.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an uncomfortable scene where she caught him in the holodeck, or he runs.
Yeah, I remember.
That was a little cringeworthy.
Yeah. Well, there's sort of it also brings up the idea of, you meet someone, there's the idealized version of someone and the actual person. That old saying, you never meet your heroes?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. So, but I remember that episode with Geordi. Did you have a version of me for every mood you might be in, Geordi? I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
Sounds like every woman I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, oh boy. But so anyway, I don't know where else to go with this. So I don't know. Do we want to call it a night?
I'm going to say one good thing about the last episode.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought the casting, the actress, and I don't remember her name. She's probably best known for appearing on The Wire, the first season. But I thought she was an excellent. Physically, she was an excellent casting choice because she behaved just like Michael. She kind of resembled Michael. She had the same voice inflections as Michael. Not necessarily a good thing, but it was good in terms of, I like the casting. And she did a fantastic job with the first scene. But after that, I was like, enough. Let them all die.
Yeah. Oh, actually, your girl Nan actually makes a with the brace. I saw someone in your review. You liked her with the one who spaces robot girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she makes a brief appearance. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, she's in this episode since when? Like, that's the thing. They bring up things and they don't come back to them. I'm like, yeah, you.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Captain Hare, 10-hour loop of Mikey Spock dying uploaded when? that's good. I like that.
Well, I'm gonna put like at least my 10 minutes. My my reaction. But.
All right. As you were saying, Q Storm.
No, I was just trying to think. I'm trying to think of episodes of really good Trek where it was an ensemble cast. Let's say like a Yesterday's Enterprise, okay, where every cast member has something to do. It's not like they left. It's not like they just completely neglected certain characters, like they've done Jet Reno, or other characters where we don't even hear anything about them. It's like, what's the point? It's just these writers are just. This is bad writing 101.
Being dead weight on like TNG or anything like that, if that's what you mean.
Yes, that's
always there for a reason.
Unless it was a bottle episode that featured a character.
But even then, it was about character, though. Yeah.
It wasn't like you never saw Data for 4 episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all, usually, no.
Oh, Screen Rant. Screen Rant has had an article. 20 things on Star Trek Discovery that make no sense. Can we
20?
Only 20?
Only? Yeah, I made a video on that actually.
Okay, here, but let's just run without going into too much detail. Where's the spore drive in the future? Okay, we kind of asked that. Discovery's tech is advanced compared to the original series. The Federation would never consider elimination. That's true.
You're talking about season 1 with the Klingons?
Well, yeah, Klingon, yeah, season 1, yeah. Federation promotes Georgiou from the mirror universe. Yeah.
Oh wait, I got a question. Does everyone know she's from the MU now? What's the story there? I thought it was a secret.
Well, they almost have to, considering she's alive. She died. So like they got to come up with some kind of cover story. I have no idea. I think they just kind of ignored that.
That makes sense.
Okay. Well, anyway, if they have the ability, why don't Klingons impersonate humans in the future? Good point. Klingons look inconsistent compared to the rest of Trek. How is it that Klingon ships are so advanced? Why is Star Trek Discovery not on the official CBS network? Well, we all know that. Why did Spock never mention he had an adopted human sister? No, because she's a fuck up. That's why.
Well, for the same reason he never mentioned Cybok, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like he just hates her because he's like, that's the only thing. One of the few moments of enjoyment I get out of it are every time he just kind of shows up and tells her off or says something snotty to her. That's kind of funny.
That's the one thing about this Spock I do like. I gotta be honest.
Okay, here's a good one. Why no mention of the Klingon War in the rest of Trek? That's pretty good.
That's all.
Minimum security
isn't canon.
Exactly. Minimum security when transferring maximum security prisoners.
That's
Saru's danger. Yeah, that's just laziness. Saru's danger sense. How does Section 131 find out Georgiou is from the mirror universe?
No, I kind of like the danger sense thing. See, they've ruined his character, but he was one of the few things I actually liked about the show. Because I felt that's a character that could have been in just about any other Star Trek and been interesting, but he's wasted here.
Totally correct. I mean, we saw his ganglia turn into lights, and they've never touched on that again. They've never done anything with that.
Yeah. Like he had a little arc going there, and it was like, okay, this is kind of interesting in some aspects, and then just kind of went bye-bye.
Yeah, because remember he stood up to Pike, he was insubordinate, and I'm thinking, wow, we're going to build on this. We're going to have a structure. You might have to restrain him. Nah, It's like 70 sitcoms where something big happens in one episode, the next episode is a total reset.
Basically, when the oldest kid would go through puberty and was a total dick for one episode, then they act like it never happened in the next. Yeah.
Right.
Well, anyway, rounding out, how are the spores so delicate how are the spores so delicate if the network can exist in deep space? Okay, when did Sarek become so telepathically powerful? The first 2 episodes, timeline problems. Why is the crew so lenient on Ash?
Is this a new article or is this an older one?
This is from January.
Okay, yeah. So I already talked about this one.
Okay, uniforms look different. Why so? Here's a good one. Number 1 is why is everyone so unfriendly on the Discovery?
Nice.
Because they're assholes.
He made me think of another question. He said something about the spore drive or something. What was it? 2 episodes ago, we saw a scene where Stamets, who doesn't have a fucking staff in this whole engineering space, he was actually sitting there counting the spores, which ones were good, which ones were bad. Remember that?
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
I don't
Somebody
know.
was doing mushrooms in the writer's room, evidently. I have no idea.
He was literally saying, "Oh, you're okay. You're okay. No, you're not. You're okay." That's where he says, "Can you guys please talk louder?" And then 2 minutes later, "Can you guys shut up?" Like,
yeah, that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not, like I said, whoever wrote that article or whoever pointed that out, like I said, on every other starship, I wanted to be in that world. I would not want to be on Discovery for any stretch of time.
No, I'd rather stand in the P corner in the fucking Orville because at least you'd be on the Orville, right?
I do know that reference. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
So, what did you think then? You finally watched the Orville.
I'll be completely honest. I'll be brief. I watched Identity. And it was late when I saw part 2, so I did fall asleep towards the end. So that has no bearing on how good the show was. I can see why people who like the Orville like it because it's good TNG. I'll give you that. The only thing is the beats were so familiar. I just assume watch TNG. What I would do is say I would probably like Google the 10 best episodes of Orville, and I would watch those devotedly. But I probably wouldn't go through the whole season. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Fair not assumption, but a fair assessment. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Oh, check out the actress who plays the security expert Non. Her name is Rachel Ancheril. And let's take a look at her without the makeup on. Like,
she's pretty hot. Can you say that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Are you kidding? I'm not going to stop me from saying it. Oh hey, how you doing, baby? Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going there? Hey.
She kind of looks like a prettier Hillary Swank, maybe.
She does, yes. Giggity. So, yeah. So that's what she like. Where she's? Why not just have her without the makeup? There you go. Give me another reason to watch.
They always cover up the prettiest actresses.
Yeah, they have to ugly them up. She looks a lot older with that makeup on too.
She kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, there's that. There she
look
is
how
back
bad
here.
Saru looks.
Yeah. And look, it's Ensign Skippy here. You know, he's like, shit. Why did I take this part? They're gonna kill me, aren't they?
I'm gonna nitpick here. That photo right there. Why is the captain standing in the back, looking at the backs of his junior officers that are lower ranked than him?
Because Mikey Spock.
Because she's the best, and they don't know military.
Yeah, it's like, and this guy, I think he's a Saurian. Hey, he was on 2 episodes. This guy. So you got, So, but like I said, Ensign Skippy here, he's like dead man walking. You knew he was going to get whacked as soon as he talked back to Mikey Spock. You just knew it. So, okay, kids, I'm out of gas on this.
Yeah, I think we sufficiently beat this one out.
Yeah, we beat this horse into a fine liquefied goo. So,
any final thoughts on this, Q Storm?
I might just clock out for season 3. I want to see this Picard. When is the Picard series supposed to come out? When's Picard coming out?
That's actually supposed to start this fall or winter.
Guys, I'm just gonna be heartbroken if they fuck up Picard. He's my favorite captain.
So the woman who directed last week's episode is directing the first episode of Picard.
Mel Culpepper.
Oh yeah. Well, see, but I don't think the directors are necessarily the problem on the show.
No, it's the writing. It's Alex Kurtzman getting his Weasley hands and everything. Oh no, we want it to look cinematic.
And I'll be disappointed with Patrick Stewart if he lets them bastardize his character. But of course, it's the same Patrick Stewart who was okay with Captain Picard having to drive a doom buggy and.
Old man Picard, are you gonna let them?
Are cool.
No, they're not.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yes. Old man Picard, are you gonna let them bastardize your character?
How much are they giving me?
Yeah.
How
big of a summer house can I buy?
Anymore.
He is a bit of a house.
Yes. So
isn't he? Did he start? Did that movie come out with him in it with the boy who would be king or something like that?
Yeah, it flopped. It flopped pretty quickly.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Old man Picard. What did you think of that movie? The boy who would be king.
What movie?
Well, there you go. That tells you how good it was. He doesn't even. He was in it. He doesn't even remember it.
Ooh, I can't remember what I had for breakfast or the last time I pissed.
I think it was oatmeal.
Unless it was on a hooker, then I'll remember.
Oh yes, yes.
Litigation's still going on, you know.
Yes, yeah.
I knew I was in trouble with Patrick Stewart when after TNG ended. I remember the first movie role he did was Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts.
Really? Oh.
And I saw that movie and I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? Patrick, what's up, man?
So Old Man Picard, what was it like working with Mel Gibson?
He's a good fellow. He knows how to party.
No, nothing. No, he wasn't really particularly anti-Semitic on the set.
So, isn't everybody on the set? I don't get it.
Oh well, okay then. All right. Thank you, Old Man Picard. Thank you for joining us.
It's no good. You kind of expect it.
$2 pound, £2 super chat from the Batman. Stop doing an English accent, or we'll reinvade. I keep saying all the Brits on television and movies. I'm like, do you think when Cornwallis surrendered to George Washington, he's there with his hands up? Don't worry, we'll be back in 200 years to take over TV and the movies.
It's not an English accent. It's
music.
French.
So
my name is Jean-Luc. What was the rest? No.
Boobies?
Picard. Oh, boobies. Where? I've got $2.
So you're gonna make it rain at the strip club, aren't you?
Hell yes.
But
I've got to change first.
Old Man Picard, are you gonna have a female with big boobies on your new show?
Well, of course. But you know, one thing I've learned is never, ever, ever ask a stripper for change. They don't like that.
No, they don't. No, they certainly don't. Yes. Who was it that said one? Oh, it was David. It was David Spade that said one time, England, you used to be cool. You used to send us cool stuff like the Beatles and James Bond. Now what do you send us? You send us David Beckham, James Blunt.
They don't take checks either.
One Direction. What happened to you, England?
Not even.
All right. Well, don't you? Well, if the strippers are going to take credit cards, wouldn't you have to swipe it in their butt crack?
Well,
Quagmire tried that on Family Guy.
Giggity.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you, Old Man Picard. Thank you. Old man, old man. Always nice when Old Man Picard
Yes.
Yes. Old Man Picard. Let's hear it for him. So, okay. All right. Let me beat this one link into a fine goo. Let's wrap it up here, everybody. We'd like to thank Q Storm actually for joining us once again. Kind of last minute, but that's the way we kind of roll around here.
It's always fun talking about Discovery, so my pleasure.
Always.
Isn't it though?
Always.
No sarcasm there.
Well, STD is more fun. Is that how you say it than the show?
Yes. I'm curious to what these other buttons they just added to Google Hangouts do. Q&A and showcase.
Let you play Star Trek Bingo.
Yes, this is. So if you like what we do, check us out on Patreon. You can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. You can find bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, my 10-minute stand-up set, and more. If you don't have the means to support us on Patreon, please click like, subscribe here, and subscribe on the main channel. As I always say, we cannot do this without you. Q-Storm, tell about the Red Shirt podcast.
You can check out the Redshirts Star Trek podcast on iTunes. Download it on iTunes. And you can check out our YouTube channel, Redshirts Star Trek podcast, where we, you guys, I am like the Jake Lloyd Anakin. The Hayden Christensen Anakin, where I struggle to stay in the light side. You guys have brought me over to the dark side, and I'm enjoying.
You're welcome.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, as Billy Joel said, I would laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. So, but anyway, that's
how powerful the dark side of the Force is.
What have I done?
Sam Kinison used to say, "If you're gonna miss heaven, don't miss it by a few feet."
That's what we should do. We should have you redub all of Darth Vader's lines as Sam Kinison.
Look, this dark side thing is pretty cool, I know you're missing a hand, okay, but hey, it's not my fault, all right? And Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's a little shaky, Pick up the lightsaber and fight, you bastard!
There is a clip on YouTube where they redub Darth Vader's lines with Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice.
Yeah, that one's okay.
There's a great one where they redub Darth Vader's lines with James Earl Jones's dialogue from Coming to America.
Other movies, yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
That one's good.
That's a great
one. I do.
I'm talking to myself. He says that Boba Fett, you've grown a mustache. Let's go for a stroll.
That one was good. I like that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Check out, like I said, check out the Redshirts on YouTube. Check them out on iTunes, and I think they're on Libsyn too, at libsyn.com.
Yeah, Libsyn. You can access this through iTunes. Download us. Leave some feedback. Leave comments.
Yes.
Always appreciate it.
If you enjoy our show, you'll definitely enjoy the Redshirts. Yeah, check out other friends, Professor Geek, JP over at Egotastic Fun Time. Check out Mecca. Tell them about your channel.
I am MechaRandom42, and I complain about Star Trek and all the things. We're talking a lot of Godzilla. I think is going to be the next theme of the channel. Maybe there's a lot of stuff going on, and Cobra Kai and all the cool stuff. And if you guys do want to click on, I did upload the funny little bit from my latest review where we're Spock likes science. So if you guys do want to check that out. And he likes big Asian butts.
I like science.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
I like science. I like this one.
So, okay, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, check out our friends, Professor Geek, JP Egotastic Fun Time, SC Reviews, Clownfish TV. Who else? Who am I forgetting? A lot of people. Nitpicking Nerd, he's good. Even check out, Nitpicking Nerd actually has a good channel. He does some good Star Trek commentary. Check him out. Ensign Ricky, he actually does some good Star Trek content. Check out Doomcock, Overlord DVD, Doomcock, and check out Harvey Cthulhu has a channel now. Yes, he does. Harvey Cthulhu's 30-second film reviews. Gary over at Nerdrotic. Subscribe to, and if there's often more than one channels. We're doing that as a precaution in case we get we lose live streaming privileges. So make sure you subscribe to both channels and make sure you click the bell icon so you get notifications. Everything okay. Q Storm, if you kindly step back.
After Dark was kind of all about.
Oh yeah. Okay, Q Storm, if you kindly step into the transport, we'll beam you out.
Happy to do so.
Okay, everything's also okay. Energize.
Did he sign the waiver again?
No, he didn't. Quiet. We're not supposed to talk about that. Do you want a lawsuit? Damn it. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
The waivers.
We're gonna catch. We'll catch it. No, that's for the lawyers to decide. We'll catch you next time.
Captain.
Yep.
Incoming message.
Intruder alert on deck 8. Enter authorization code.
Ben Shakira.
Command functions are offline.
Jeff Fisher.
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Haley.
Diagnostic complete. Sensors are functioning normally.